What's up, guys? It's Dwayne, back again for another video, back again for a reaction, and today's a wonderful, beautiful day. Do you know why? I'll tell you why. Because it's a Sweden day. 10 untranslatable Swedish words. Without further ado, let's get into this reaction. Let's go.
Hi guys, I hope you're having a splendid day out there. And welcome. Today we're going to go through 10 untranslatable Swedish words.
Fan sitter du och säger?
And by untranslatable, I mean a Swedish word that cannot be translated into English. Of course, there are different variants of translations into other languages, but we're talking about specifically English today. Shall we go through the list? Yes.
Okay.
So the first word is vabba. Vabba is a verb meaning to take paid time off work to take care of your sick child. Notice paid time off. Vabba comes from the abbreviation vab, which stands for vård av barn or care of child, and has later become a verb. I'm gonna go home and vabba today. I won't come into work, but I'm gonna still get money for it.
So it's like, it's just something that doesn't exist outside of Sweden. That's why it's we can't translate it because we don't get that in England, unfortunately.
Next word is vaska. This is
vaska.
A little bit of a strange word. Vaska means that you pour an expensive liquid down the sink, hence the name.
Pour expensive liquid down the sink to display your wealth. That's not very lagon. Did I say that right? Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you mean, pour expensive liquid down the sink? That's like, well, do you know what they do that in hip hop videos when they pour like the champagne on the floor and like, yeah, look all the money I got, man. That's my terrible American accent. But they do that in like hip hop videos, like they like, oh, these are my fallen soldiers, and they pour a bit of champagne on the floor to honor the dead. So maybe it's similar to that.
The name vaska. Sink in Swedish is vask. And to vaska is, for example, to pour a bottle of champagne into the sink to display your wealth. It's a little bit weird. I don't know how often it happens nowadays. It was a bit popular a while back for people to do that, but I really hope that this is not a thing anymore.
No.
Next word is a word
No waste. Waste not, want not. That is a saying in England. Waste not, want not. Basically meaning, don't be wasteful. Just don't waste stuff, you know? Like, you waste stuff, but there's people that need, and people that don't have anything, and you're wasting your stuff. Probably not the proper translation, but yeah.
I'm sure you're familiar with, and that is fika. Fika is a very Swedish word, I would say. Fika is when you have a cup of coffee and a cinnamon bun, or just take a time off.
I just like fika. I just like everything about this tradition, and I cannot wait to have a fika when I go to Sweden.
To just talk with somebody. It's very difficult to translate, as you can hear. It can mean several things. It can mean having a date with somebody. It could mean just having time off work. But
fika can mean having... Is that a date thing? So you could have a fika with somebody, and that'd be like dating that somebody. Yeah. So you could be like, let's go for a fika. And but that's like asking someone out on a date. It's just the context of the way you say it, right? Is that what he means by that? Interesting.
But in most of these cases, there's gonna be coffee involved, or tea, or maybe a bun or something. Which is why we all love fika so much. The next word is also a word I think you've heard of. Lagom.
Lagom.
Lagom is a word that means not too much and not too little. It's just perfect in the middle. And I think lagom is
I like this word. Not because everyone understands what that means. Everyone gets that. Like, not too much, not too little, just right. You know, don't do too much. Don't overcompensate. You know, just do, you know, under the radar. Like, you know, like, don't brag. Don't be too much. Lagom. I like
it's a word that pretty much symbolizes like Sweden. We don't want to stand out. We just want to be just perfect and don't make too much noise and not too little noise. It's just
like
lagom. It's a good word to know. The next word is löpsedel.
Löpsedel. I've never heard of that word before.
This is a little bit of a tricky word. Löpsedel means the front page of a newspaper that hangs outside of stores, you know, the ones that you can also call billboards. But if you do a Google search on billboards, you will also find those big billboards with the commercials on them. Okay. Löpsedel specifically means those front pages of the newspaper. So it's a bit of a tricky word, maybe perhaps not 100% not untranslatable, but it's still a unique word. The next word is snusa. I bet
snusa.
You've heard about snus. Snus is a moist tobacco that you put under your lip, your upper lip,
up there,
and should not.
I've seen it. I saw it on a. I saw it on All för Sverige. So I'm watching All för Sverige on my Patreon. Link is in the description, and I am on season 3, and I think season 4, and I think it's either season 2 or season 3, where one of the guys tries snus and puts it underneath his, and he did not like it and he spat it out. I am going to try that when I come to Sweden.
Should not be confused.
If you're interested in the Patreon, the link is in the description. I think I said that already.
With snuff, which is a dried tobacco. Att snusa means to actually put the snus under your lip. It is a very difficult word to translate. Sometimes when I talk about it in English, I realize that there is no real translation for this word. So you have to use the word snusa. Kind of talk some kind of a Swinglish variant. I don't know. It's difficult. But it's a good word to know that people use it. The next word is panta. Panta is a little bit of a tricky word as well.
Panta.
It basically means to...
What is panta? To recycle bottles for money. Oh, you have a word for that?
Recycle bottles, but you get money back for them. In Sweden, most of the cans and plastic bottles have so-called pant on them. Meaning that when you recycle them, you will get a little bit of a money back just to give you something for actually recycling these bottles and not throwing them into the nature. And the act of doing this is called panta.
Panta.
The next word is blåsväder, and this is
Blåsväder. Blåsväder. What? So how you said it? How did he say it?
The next word is blåsväder, and this is
blåsväder. I think it's
yet another, a bit of a tricky word. Blåsväder literally means windy weather, but is mostly used by media to describe when something is going bad for someone or something.
Oh!
For example,
windy weather is turbulent. So something is turbulent. When you say something's turbulent, that means, you know, something's not going right. It's a bit... like it refers to the weather. So we kind of do have a word like blåsväder. We have turbulent. When you say something is going turbulent, it means it's rocky. It's a bit on the rocks. Because it's kind of translatable, I think.
Imagine this löpsedel. Nackagubben is in blåsväder. Said a bad word on the internet. Would you have bought that newspaper? The next word is a word that I brought up earlier in one of my Swedish words of the week, and that is orka. Orka means to cope or have the energy to do something, but it's not those words entirely. It's something
to cope.
Different. For example, you could say, "Do you orka play games with me?" No, I don't orka. The word could also be used by itself, like orka, meaning that you really don't orka. And the final word of today is harkla, which is a verb meaning to clear your...
The tongue roll. Let's get the tongue ready. Say that again so I can try and emulate.
And the final word of today is harkla, which is...
Harkla. Harkla. Is that right? Let me know in the comment section.
It's a verb meaning to clear your throat before, for example, having a speech, like... That is to harkla. And of course, there's the translation to clear one's throat, but we actually have one word that describes this action, which is pretty interesting, actually.
Vad fan sitter du och säger?
Alright guys, those were 10 untranslatable Swedish words, and I hope you learned something here today.
I did.
If you want more of these untranslatable words, leave a comment down below, and I'll see what I can do, pretty much. I hope you had a splendid time here together with me, because I had a splendid time together with you. And until the next time I see...
I'm very upset that he stopped making videos. I like him very much. I think he's very good at what he does. That's a bad...
And your
still
pretty face.
Right.
Have a splendid day.
There you go, that's alright, Steve. I kept trying to pause it, but I was like, that's a bad face for him to be paused. That's an okay face to be paused that. I like him, I like his channel. Go support him. Support me. I learned some good words, and I love attempting to pronounce Swedish words. I just think Swedish is just so pleasant to pronounce. I like the way it sounds. I just really like the way it sounds. I feel like in a past life I spoke Swedish. I really do. I don't know what it is. I just do. I think, yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed that. And some of the words were untranslatable. I agree. There were some that were like, I could really maybe convey what that word means in English, but it's not fully translatable. So yeah, all of those are untranslatable. Interesting. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Until the next one, I will see you very soon.